Welcome to Wildwood Park for game one of the doubleheader. I'm Lucas Schulze here with the Hall of Famer Mike Martin. The A's enter today 11-6, facing against the Greenville Stars, who are 0-3 in the New Bowl, while the A's enter 3-0, looking to continue that unbeaten streak. New Bowl's played 3 games, like I mentioned, and in those 3 games, they're getting up 11.7 runs per game. So this is the type of game with Eric Schmitz on the mound for the A's that they need to get the offense going and take advantage of the Greenville Stars pitching staff. The A's are tied for first place in the New Bowl with the Green Bay Blue Ribbons, who they will play on Monday in their next game as a makeup for the game that got canceled on Wednesday. Let's get started with the Greenville Stars lineup. Leading off is Ethan Peters at second base. Jake Lucas is hitting the second, he's the DH. Camden Kunke is hitting third, and he's playing third. Joe Fisher is the right fielder, hitting cleanup. Brett Summer is at shortstop. Turner Kunke is behind the plate today for Chase Schultz. Camden Cronus is in center field. Rashad Kastner is at first, hitting eighth. And round out the lineup is Trent Foote, and he will be playing left field. And Chase Schultz will be the one pitching for the Greenville Stars. Marty, you want to take us through the A's defense?
All right, starting pitcher is Eric Schmitz. His catcher is Connor Lash. Playing first base is Jimmy Jurgensen. Jacob Neese is at second. Harry back in the lineup after missing a couple games is at third. Alex Ames is the shortstop. Around the outfield, left to right, we got Braden Horn, Gus Walker, and Calvin Kiesler. Pretty good lineup out there for this game, Lucas.
Yeah, anytime you can get guys like Gus Walker and Kiesler and center and right, you know you got a pretty good defense out there. Schmitz is almost ready to go to face the leadoff batter Ethan Peters, and he has been sensational so far this year. The lowest ERA on the team, .82 in over 20 innings, 22 to be exact, 27 strikeouts to just 7 walks, and 2 earned runs in those 22 innings. We expect no less than that from him today against a struggling offense in the Greenville Stars. The first pitch from Schmitz, just outside, ball 1.
Our umpires today are Jamie Thurs behind the plate and Doug Steinke on the bases. No. Peyton Kelling has been a regular for umpiring the A's games this year. Does a nice job.
Yeah, we've seen him plenty. Schmitz ready for the 1-1 pitch to Peters. Swung on and missed. 1-2 now. Connor Lash doing the catching today again. He's back. Normally you see Cal Casper, but it's been more Lash of recently, last week or so. That one hit on the ground just over the first base. Bag dropped, but picked up again by Jurgensen and taps the bag in time to retire Peters.
I was a little worried, Lucas, the way he went at that with one hand. You know, if it bounces over his glove, it's out in right field.
You know, those slow ones on this kind of infield make it a little bit tougher. But he made a nice play on it. Was able to stay with it.
You mentioned the high amount of runs given up per game by Greenville. Their best game, at least in giving up runs, was a loss, a 10-9 loss to Green Bay. They walked them off. They were that close from beating the Blue Ribbons.
It's a really good team, like I was talking about earlier. They're tied with the A's in the New Bowl at 3-0. The 0-2 now to Lucas is fouled left side, now to play. Greenville, not one of those teams that puts out their stats, so we don't know much about any of these players other than the pitcher Chase Schultz. That one popped in the air. Running after it, the left fielder just missed it. And it's going to stay in play fair, and it'll be a... Looked like Lucas thought it was fair. He was running first base, but just landed foul.
Great effort out there by Horn. Got his glove on it. Anytime you're diving like that, it's hard to keep it in the mitt.
Schmitz ready to throw the 0-2 to Lucas. Fouled back again. Stays 0-2. Schmidt's, like we always talk about, not a big walk guy, and showing that so far. Great command of the zone, like always, from him. First couple hitters. Bounce that one in there. 1-2 now.
Had a chance to talk before the game with Brad Reinflush, and he came out of the game the other night that we were announcing, and he said what he had was a hamstring tweak. He wouldn't call it really a pull. He said he'll be okay. He said he just needs to loosen it up, be careful, basically. Good to hear that.
Yeah, you don't want anything serious for Brad Reinflush, a huge part of this A's rotation.
Lucas is making Schmitty work. That was a good piece of hitting by Jake.
Really worked the count there. Come up with it, but great piece of hitting, like you mentioned, by Lucas. Three-hole hitter, Camden Kunke.
There's two Kunkies in the lineup.
I noticed that one behind the plate, and this one, Camden Kunke at third. That one lined in the center field. Now it'll be down for a base hit. And Greenville's threatening. They got 2 runners on with just 1 out. One of the aces in this Sheboygan rotation, Eric Schmitz.
And what I was leading to was talking about the Kunkies in the lineup is Jamie Kunke. Their dad is the manager.
Oh, that makes sense then. That'll bring up Joe Fisher, the right fielder, hitting cleanup today for the Greenville Stars. Fouls it to the left side. 0-1.
They're swinging the bat, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely aggressive. Part of the game plan, you would think, against Schmitz. Be aggressive early on in the at-bat. More likely best pitch you're going to see. Schmitz looking back. Second base, the 0-1. Swung on and missed by Kunke. It's 0-2. Or Fisher, excuse me. Fisher's in right field, like I mentioned earlier. Rare right fielders hitting cleanup spot. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. Eric Schmitz, that's his first one of the day. And the second out.
Back in 2015, Eric Schmitz was 5-0. Ranked right up there with somebody by the name of Mike Martin, who also finished 5-0 one year. Ooh, Schmitty. Got to go up them now. I thought I missed him first time going down the list. He was 6-0 in 2020 and 2022.
Wow.
So he's got on the list 3 times. That's impressive.
That one's in there for strike one. And like we mentioned before, he's definitely one of those guys that will make a Hall of Fame appearance once his career is done with the Sheboygan A's. Schmitz looks back for the 1-1. That one just outside. 2-1 now. Batter Brett Summer, the shortstop. It's in a big situation here with 2 runners on and 2 out.
Did you mention Sheboygan was 4-0 against Greenville last year?
5-0 overall, but 4-0 last year. That one lined in the left center field, down base hit, rounding third, and he's going to score easily without a throw. And it's 1-0 Greenville on the base hit from Summer.
It's not very often you see 3 base hits in an inning off of Eric Schmitz.
Yeah, no, we're hit pretty good. No cheap ones in that sequence. Started with the Jake Lucas single over the head of Nice, and he was the one that came around and scored. I'll bring up the other Kunke, Turner Kunke. That one line in the center field, but Walker's got a read on it and makes the catch for out number 3. Greenville gets one, and the A's will be coming up in the bottom of the first inning.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more. Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more. Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Back for the bottom of the first inning at Wildwood Park, and the A's looking to continue what they've been doing offensively the past 2 games. 12 runs in those past 2 games, including the outburst with 3 home runs against Appleton just a few days ago that we saw here at Wildwood. But the lineup looking very similar, with Braden Horn leading it off again, followed by Chase Hanselman. Harry Steltz hitting third and back in the lineup for the A's. Connor Lash is hitting cleanup behind the plate. Jacob Neese is at second base. We saw a little bit of him in the first inning. Calvin Kiesler is in right and hitting 6th. Jimmy Jurgensen's at first base, hitting 7th. Gus Walker's back in center field, hitting 8th, and then Alex Ames rounds it out at shortstop, hitting 9th. Marty, you want to take us through the defense for
defensively for Greenville, their starting pitcher is Chase Schultz. Doing the catching is Turner Kunke. Over at first base is Rashad Kastner. At second is Ethan Peters. Camden Kunke's at third. Brett Summer, good ball player, is playing short. In left field is Trent Fucht. In center field is Cameron Cronus, and in right field is Joe Fisher.
And you said earlier that pitcher Chase Schultz, he's out of Appleton, and you're saying Greenville is not too far away from the Appleton area, and he goes to Carroll University. First pitch to Braden Horn is low, and it'll be 1-0 on Horn. Horn hitting over 270 this year, and he had that home run against Appleton. Ball low again, 2-0.
His teammate at UWM, John Hadley, is not in the lineup. I'm not sure if he's here or not, but nice to see Jimmy.
Yeah, we haven't seen Jimmy in a while, kind of like when Chase came back against Appleton. It's been about a week or so.
Yeah, he was on a vacation to France.
That one in there as well, hit the outside corner. It'll be 2-2 now to Braden Horn. Horn, like I mentioned, goes to Milwaukee, and he's from Muskego, Wisconsin. Takes outside, and it runs the count full at 3-2. Hanselman will be on deck, and he's been hot ever since he came back, and even before he was out. Lined up the middle, base hit for Braden Horn to start off the bottom of the first. It's already 4 hits between the 2 teams and just through 1 inning, not even. That'll bring up Chase Hanselman, and he's hitting .344 to start this year with 8 RBIs and he leads the team in doubles with 3. Won that Rookie of the Year last year for the A's and looking to win the MVP this year.
Hanselman plays his college ball at Ripon. It's from Nina.
Pops that one out to the third baseman, Kunke, and that will be the first out. And that'll bring up Harry Stelt, team leader in RBIs with 9, looking to be the first one to get the double digits in that category. Hitting just 300, right on the dot. First pitch from Schultz is in there, strike 1.
It looked like the catcher set up on the outside part of the plate and the pitch was on the inside part. It kind of caught Harry by surprise.
Harry flies one deep to left center field. That one's gonna get down, base hit. Horn's rounding second, going to third. Harry's gonna be in with the double. Horn sent around third. The throw in is gonna be short, and Horn is in with the RBI double from Harry Stelt. 1-1.
Horn got a good break on that ball. It's close to second, and then he saw it drop down from there. Had a pretty easy time of it scoring.
I wasn't sure if Nazy was going to send Horn around third. Looked like that was going to be a play at the plate, but no throw from the shortstop Summer.
Yeah, once it got past the first outfielder and the other outfielder had to chase it down, that allowed Horn to score.
First pitch to Connor Lash is outside. Another hot hitter for this A's team. He's hitting nearly 350 to start his A's career. One of those new catchers.
For Harry, that was his third double this year.
Lash fouls it back. 1-1. Lash looks in at the 1-1. That one to left center field again. And that one's going to get down, base of the wall. Lash going to be able to double, and him and Harry are just going to trade places. It'll be 2-1 Sheboygan A's. What a response to the 1 run given up in the first inning, and they regain the lead, 2-1. Back-to-back doubles from Harry Stelt and Connor Lash. That'll bring up Jacob Neese.
Lash picks up his 8th RBI, and that was surprisingly his first double of the season.
Yeah, with about extra bases we've seen him get with the home runs, you'd think he'd have at least 1 double by now.
Yeah, he's got a double, a triple, and 3 home runs.
That one also in there, 0-2. Chase Schultz started off strong. He got the pop out of Chase Hanselman after the single from Horn, and then back-to-back doubles from Stelt and Lash. Jacob Neese looking to continue that trend.
Yeah, another double would be great.
0-2 is outside, 1-2. That pitch outside, 2-2. Neese pops it out of play.
You know, that pitch looked right in his wheelhouse. I think he'd like to have that pitch again.
I think his eyes lit up on that one. Kind of probably wants that one back, like he said. Disappointed he didn't do more with it. The A's took the lead in this bottom of the first inning, 2-1. Look to continue it. Neese to right center field. That one is gonna fall again out where the outstretched glove of the second baseman. And Lash will just take third base, waiting if to tag up.
Yeah, there wasn't much Connor could do. He had to wait to see if it was going to drop or not.
The third consecutive hit for the A's. We were talking about before the game started, Greenville's really struggled keeping teams at bay offensively, and it's showing again. Bring up Calvin Kiesler. First pitch to Kiesler is fouled back.
Jacob so far this year has one stolen base. This might be a good opportunity to pick up number 2.
Inside on Kiesler.
Wow.
1-1. Big RBI spot for Calvin Kiesler, trying to put this Greenville team away early. 4 hits already in the inning for Sheboygan. Fouled back again. It'll be 1-2 now on Calvin Kiesler. Kiesler hitting .286. Not as hot as he was his first week with the A's, but still a very respectable average. He's got 8 walks.
Our game time temperature, Lucas, was 80 degrees. And partly cloudy, calm skies. So, beautiful day for a ball game. Let's play 2.
Yeah. We were saying earlier, this is the doubleheader. Sheboygan will play 2 today against Greenville, part of the Meyer Family Day. A 1-2 to Kiesler. Lays off the outside pitch, 2-2.
Talked to Joe Curlin, who's Parks Department head for the city, and he said the flags are coming.
Good.
Sometime next week they'll be up.
Pitch is fouled again by Kiesler, and it remains 2-2.
I know we've kind of made well, at least I have made a big deal about the flag not flying.
It's
And
nice.
we miss it.
Yeah. Tell where the wind's going. National anthem, look at it. We gotta look at the
Can you
scoreboard
imagine
now.
being at Wrigley Field without flags to know which way the wind was blowing?
Kiesler, another one foul, right side, and out of play. Great at bat from Kiesler, and we've seen a lot of good at bats off of Chase Schultz early from the Sheboygan A's. Doesn't look like the Greenville brought too many extra players with them in the dugout, so Chase probably gonna get a lot of this game, even if he starts to struggle. And that one going is Neese, and that one's in the center field, and Lash is going to score with ease. It's going to be 3-1, and Neese advances to third on the throwing error by Kunke.
Nobody covered the base. They all, second baseman and shortstop, looked at each other, and
Yeah.
nobody went to take the throw.
Sometimes in those situations, you don't expect the throw coming because you might see Lash try to take home if you throw down, but Lash had no intentions of doing that. Kiesler, another one fouled back, and he stays alive again. He 3-2 count on Calvin Kiesler, and he's fouled off 4 or 5 pitches in this at bat already. Kiesler lines it to left field, over the head of the left fielder, and another one's going to come in the score, and Kiesler's going to end up at second base with a stand-up double, 4-1 Sheboygan.
Very nice inning, bounce back inning for Sheboygan after allowing that 1 run in the top of the first.
Come back with revenge after giving up that 1 run. 5 hits in the inning and 4 consecutive. Now we'll bring up Jimmy Jurgensen.
4 consecutive hits, 3 of them doubles.
Yep, Chase Schultz is getting hit hard early in this first inning.
Jimmy has a couple of homers, a couple of doubles and a homer.
Jurgensen takes the first pitch inside. Jurgensen, like we said earlier, back from that trip to France. Swung on and missed at that one. Evens the count. Just under 260, 259 average for Jimmy Jurgensen coming into play today. swung on and missed again. 1-2.
Just gonna say, still only 1 out too.
Yeah, that pop out from Chase Hanselman to the third baseman, Kunke. Schultz looks in for the 1-2 and low and outside. We even the count up at 2-2.
For a hot Saturday afternoon, it's a pretty nice crowd.
Yeah, like you said, 80 degrees coming into the day today, and it feels a lot hotter than that on the field. Pitch is lined in the right field. Another base hit for the A's. They'll be sending Kiesler around third, and he'll score with ease, and Jurgensen will trot back to first base and stick with the single. Not just a single, an RBI single. 5 consecutive hits for the Sheboygan A's.
Jimmy had visions of trying to go to second on that bobble by the right fielder, but made the correct decision.
Yeah, that's for sure. He probably would have been dosed at second base had he tried to advance. But Gus Walker, guy who would love to make it 6 consecutive hits, is up.
I was going to say, Lucas, you had mentioned about not having a lot of players in the dugout. When they lined up for the national anthem, there were 10 players in uniform, and I believe the gentleman on the mound in the red shirt is the manager. So, and they got a DH, so all 10 of them are playing today.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. If they just move Schultz into a different position in the outfield if the time comes, or something along those
Sometimes
lines.
at this level, what you'll do is you'll have your second game pitcher maybe not be at the first game and,
Yeah.
arrive at some point ready to pitch. We don't know if that's the case, but, he doesn't want to get too deep into his pitchers at this early stage, especially with another game.
Gus Walker up, the 8-hole hitter. Takes the first pitch outside. And a lot of times when the A's are scoring runs in bunches like this, they're working walks, not as many hits, but 6 hits in the inning and 5 consecutive. Walker up the middle, another base hit for the A's.
Oh,
Make
boy.
it 6 in a row.
That was a sweet swing right there. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that from Gus. He's struggled so far this year.
Yeah, if the A's can get him going and make that outfield even tougher on opposing teams.
Ames is another guy we need to get going.
That is for sure. Hitting 9th today in the A's order. Ames kind of a check swing, grounded to second, and he'll be out at first base in time. And I'll put the runners at second and third for the top of the order again in Braden Horn.
Boy, Braden could really break this game open.
Any sort of base hit should score both with Gus Walker at second base. And he already has one in this inning. Takes strike 1. Good breaking ball from Chase Schultz there. Warren with the 2 home runs on the year. Hit one out here, really opened this game up like Marty was saying. Takes that one low and outside, evens the count at 1-1. Warren's average up to 304 after that base hit in the first inning. Looking to extend that even more. That one, little blooper in the center field. It's going to get down. Another base hit, and that's going to score 2. Second hit of the inning for Braden Horn. And it's now 7-1 Sheboygan A's.
You could just see that one was going to drop between the outfielders. They didn't have a chance. A good spot for that hit.
What an inning for Sheboygan. 8 hits. One man, Braden Horn with multiple.
5-1 sounds good, but now all of a sudden, or 6-1, now all of a sudden it's 8-1. 7-1 actually. But that makes a huge difference, those 2 extra runs.
That's for sure, especially with the heart of the order coming up a second time in the inning. Hanselman looking to get revenge after his first at-bat where he popped out to the third baseman. The 0-1 has popped up again, but this time it's going to get out of play.
Lucas, would it be bad sportsmanship by Sheboygan if Horn tries to steal second?
I mean, not yet. First inning, still. Maybe if it was the 6th or 7th, I would say so. But I don't know if he will. They're holding him over there at first base. Next one is in the dirt. 1 and 2. 2 and 2. The 10-run rule is in play. That'll be through 5 innings. If the A's were to extend the lead to above 10. Another one taken outside by Chase Hansman, even it up at 2 and 2.
They'd have to score 11, which is the number that Greenville is giving up in their league play. 11 over, just over 11 runs per game.
Yeah, if the score to stay the same, Greenville would be well below their average of runs given up in a Newell game. Hanselman grounder through the infield. Another hit for Sheboygan. Make it 9 in the inning. And Hanselman gets his first one of the day. I'll bring up Harry again. Harry had that double deep in the left center field his first time up. Looking to replicate that this time. Not often do you see a team have 9 hits in an inning. The A's haven't done that in 4 games straight, much less 1 inning. Harry takes one in there, strike 1.
You know, we made a big deal about those 4 games where the combined batting average was about 135, but last couple of games have been pretty entertaining. The 3 home runs against Appleton.
Yeah, especially the start to this one's been pretty entertaining offensively. Greenville got the first run of the game off of Schmitz, which is rare enough. The A's have come back with a vengeance and gotten 7 on Schultz in this bottom of the first. Next one, Steltz taken outside, 2 and 1. Schultz has really struggled. He's gotten the 2 outs and got the second batter of the inning, but it's been a lot of trouble since. Steltz takes a strike on the outside corner to even it up at 2 and 2.
There it is. It was Sheboygan against Sussex Cardinals. We sent 12 guys to the plate, but a lot of walks mixed in. And errors and a hit by pitch, but in that particular game, with all that traffic on the bases in the first inning, we wound up scoring 6 that game.
And Harry is the 12th man to come to the plate in this bottom of the first inning. Harry lines one down the left field line, fair ball, and Horn's going to score easily. Hanselman will wind up at third, and another double for Harry Steltz to extend lead to 8 to 1. What a performance by this A's offense to start off the day.
Unbelievable.
Truly is. Not many times do you see multiple guys on the team have multi-hit days in 1 inning.
4 doubles and 6 singles.
And still 2 runners in scoring position for a very hot hitter in Connor Lash, who was another one of those doubles in the first. Oh, still are in the first. Schultz looks in. That one in there, strike 1. And normally, with these pitchers that have struggled against the A's, it's been their control problems, but Schultz has been filling up the zone.
He's had control problems. It's been in the strike zone.
Back pick Harry at second. That one's in the center field, and Chase Hansman will walk home to make it 9 to 1. The second error
yeah.
on the catcher for Greenville, Kunke. Could the A's reach that 10-run rule threshold in the first? They could if Lash were to power one out of here. The pitch to Lash is outside. Batter number 13 of the inning for Sheboygan.
Ten hits in the inning.
one low.
Mentioned 4 doubles, 6 singles, and 2 errors.
None of the errors on balls in play have been both on. 3-1. Up the middle, another base hit. Make it 11 in the inning. Harry will stop at third, but Connor Lash has another hit and make it 2.
That one, I think that one was hit too hard.
Harry really didn't give it a chance out there. He was content with just staying at third. Lash is halfway to the cycle.
And that could be it. For a little bit, I thought maybe that Schultz would just be taking one for the team because they have the second game coming up. You know, it depends on how far Kunke wants to go into his bullpen.
And that'll be it for Chase Schultz. And it was a rough day.
Yeah, Jake Lucas is coming in to pitch, the DH.
Chase Schultz can't close the book on him officially because of the runner on base, but right now he's given up 9 runs on 11 hits in just 2/3 of an inning. At 8, Sheboygan A's already have a hit. The only one missing, Alex Ames. I'm sure he'll have his chances. Like Murray said, the DH, Jake Lucas, will be the new pitcher. Lucas was the one who scored in the first inning for Stars. Been all downhill since then.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. 9 runs, 7 of them are earned so far.
And Schmidt, who's been one who has not gotten a whole lot of run support his past couple of starts, has got more than enough.
Yeah, he pitched a great 8 innings the other night, and we ended up losing in 10, I think it was, but he was untouchable.
Yeah. The thing that kind of got him out of the game was just the pitch count. Don't want him going too many pitches.
I think it was like 109 or so.
Yeah. Which is more than he normally would go anyway.
Yes.
And Addison was able to pull that one out, win that game 1-0. But now we're back to batter number 14 in the inning, Jacob Neese. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Left-hander Jake Lucas. Next one is outside. They really wanted to be, they could have waited for Jimmy Jurgensen to come up to go lefty on lefty. Strategic matchup.
Right. You don't always see that so much at this level, but
No.
you certainly see it in the major leagues a lot.
Neese hits one into right center field, and the center fielder's got to play on it. And finally, Greenville retires the side. But before that, they gave up 9 runs on 11 Sheboygan A's hits. The A's lead at 9-1 after 1.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 2, the Joker.
Then her dad walked in. Dude, we're done eating. Use a napkin.
You serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Why so serious?
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Back for the top of the second at Wildwood Park. Schmitz finds himself with a 9-1 lead, and he's been on the bench for a long time. So maybe a little bit longer warm-up for him before the top of the second gets going. How about this A's offense to start the first inning, Marty?
You know, it's almost unbelievable, especially when you think back to those games where we had 1 hit and 2 hits, and you know, we just certainly been different the last 3 games.
Yeah, the offense has hit another stride these past 3 games. That came into the game, the last 2, scoring 12 runs, 7 and 5 respectively.
I'm
First
sure
pitch.
this is more of what Tim Moyer thought he was going to have this year. Because I remember him telling us, he said, you know, this is going to be a good team. We're special this year.
Fouled back. 1-1. And again, he's been missing some of the key guys in this lineup. Chase Sanson's been out. Jurgensen's been out. So now you get most of this lineup back intact. And who knows where they can go from here. That one fouled off the netting. It'll be 1-2. Time for Greenville to respond. At least that's what they hope. We don't hope that, but that one's low. 2-2. It'll be 7, 8, 9. The hitter right now, Camden Cronus, who ended that first inning with the catch in center field. Rashad Kastner and Trent Fott will be next 2 up. Hits it on the ground to short. Played on a hop and late. Jurgensen wasn't able to stretch far enough out, and base hit for Camden Cronus, infield hit. Eames, the shortstop, made a tough off-balance throw. Jurgensen played on a hop, but just too late to get Cronus.
You mentioned Schmitty had 22 innings coming into this game, had only allowed 12 hits. So allowing 4 hits in less than 2 innings is certainly not like him.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of hits between the 2 teams so far, 15 of them, and we're not even through 1.5. Schmitz ready, inside. 2-0 now on the 8-hole hitter Rashad Kastner, the first baseman today.
Did you see that in the College World Series, Lucas, where the kid was hit by a pitch and the team called for a replay on it? And they ruled that he leaned in, so then it became, I don't know if it's an automatic strikeout, but it
was a strike, but it was 2 strikes.
Okay, so he was, and that's why he was out.
That was part of that no-hitter.
Right, you're right.
2-1, and he hits it. Blooper in the center field. That'll get down for a base hit, and heading to third, and with throw will be late. And then on second, on the throw to third, goes Kastner. And great base running there from the Greenville Stars, and they got 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. Cronus read it right off the bat, knew it was getting down. He rounded second as soon as that hit the ground. And on the throw to third, Kastner went into second easily. The 9-hole hitter, Trent Fott, the left fielder, will be up. In there, strike 1.
When we came into this second inning, I was hoping for a little easier go of it for Schmitty going 7, 8, 9, but certainly not the case so far.
Yeah, blooper got down and an infield hit so far for Greenville. That one missed somewhere for Schmitz. It'll be even at 1-1. Schmitz inside, 2-1 now.
They're barking up in the press box. We want more strikes.
The pitch swung on and missed, and that's 2-2 now. two fought. Peters on deck. He had that little dribbler at Jurgensen his first time up. But Schmidt's looking to take care of Fott first. Fott fouls it back off the netting. And the count remains at 2-2. A's lead at 9-1 on the 11-hit inning. But Greenville threatening to put a dent in that lead with 2 runners on second and third. And nobody out. The 2-2 from Schmitz is high and outside and runs full. Kind of unusual start to this game for Schmitz.
Very unlike Eric Schmitz.
That one is called strike 3, and Schmitz retires Fought on a pitch on the inside corner. And 1 down for the leadoff hitter, Ethan Peters. Huge out to get for Eric Schmitz to keep the runners at bay.
Got Peters on that easy ground ball to Jimmy. First out of the game. Grounder like that could score a run.
Yep, more likely will. First pitch fouled back from Peters. A's are not concerned with Cronus' run at third. Still keep the infield back. With an 8-run lead, they're willing to concede a run for an out. Pitch in there, strike 2. Great breaky ball by Eric Schmitz.
You know, even with an 0-3 one-loss record in the league and giving up 11 runs per game, they're still averaging almost 6 runs a game, so they can hit the ball a little bit.
Yeah, we've seen that early on, this Greenville offense. Popped up right side. That one will reach the dugout almost.
Yeah, just enough over the railing to bounce in the dugout and then come back out.
Count stays at 0-2 on Schmitz. Schmitz looking for another strikeout here to not concede a run for an out. Second and third for Greenville. Schmitz looks in for the 0-2 pitch. Low, 1-2. Yeah, Greenville's offense already 5 hits, just the 1 run right now. The pitch hits it into right field, falling fast, but caught by the right fielder, Calvin Kiesler. 2 down now for Jake Lucas, who had the single in the first.
You know, the way some of their hits have been today, I could have just seen that one dropping in again.
It looked like off the bat it had a shot. Kiesler had great closing speed on that one to make it look easier than it really was.
Well, Lucas is up. He started as a DH, now he's the pitcher.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on Lucas to keep this lead where it is or make it closer with this at bat. First pitch is low. Lucas was the runner that scored in that first inning. Looking to be part of a couple more. Grounds one to Jimmy Jurgensen. He plays it easily and steps on the bag to retire the side. Greenville threatens, but they end up with nothing. Still 9-1 as we go to the bottom of the second.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me smells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, Tea Time.
What are you, having tea with the queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
We're back for the bottom of the second inning. The A's looking to pour it on more against the Greenville Stars. They threatened in the top of the second, but Schmitz worked out of it with a strikeout and then a little grounder to Jurgensen. And leading off the inning for the A's, we Calvin Kiesler, who had a double in his first time up and moved that average up from 286 to 310. Followed by Jimmy Jurgensen, and then Gus Walker are the three due up for the A's in the bottom of the second.
You know, one thing that can be a little deflating is when you allow 9 runs in the first inning, but then when you threaten to get a couple of those back and you can't do it, that's even more deflating.
Yeah, it's tough, especially the pitcher on the mound was the one who wasn't able to bring him home, so maybe pitch it with a little bit more velocity out of anger for him. Swung on and missed by Kiesler. He'll be 0-2.
Chase Schultz's pitching line is done. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 11 hits, 9 runs, 7 were earned. No walks or strikeouts.
Lucas looks in for the 0-2 pitch. It bounces in there, and it'll go to 1-2 now on Calvin Kiesler. Kiesler, like we said, had an RBI double his last time up.
Made that fine play in right field, too.
Yes. That one saved 2 runs. He'll take one outside and even the count up at 2-2. Looking to make it another hit for this A's offense and extend that lead to the over 10-run threshold. Still have to play 5 innings, even if the A's do go up by 10. It's nice to get it earlier rather than later.
They need 2 more runs, get to 11. And then they still got to hold them.
Yeah. And their offense has looked pretty good through the first 2 innings. The scoreboard doesn't show as much as we've seen on the field.
Well, they've hit the ball really nice.
2-2 is low, moves the count full.
Fans, this afternoon's 50-50 raffle is underway. We have Hunter in the grandstand selling tickets, so if you want to get in on this afternoon's 50-50 raffle, grab your tickets from Hunter.
Kiesler is ready for the full count pitch from Jake Lucas. That one hit in the air to deep left field, and it's out of here. Home run, Calvin Kiesler. Hit number 12 and home run number 1 in his A's career. The A's go up 10-1 now. What do they call them, Marty?
That's a Sheboygan.
Kiesler starts off the second with a bang. His second hit and his second extra base hit.
It looked good off the bat.
I thought it was going to hit off the wall the way the left fielder was playing it, but just squeaked over.
While we were in the break, Bill told us, look over across the street at the softball diamonds. There's a flag over there.
Jimmy hits one well to deep left field, and that one's over the head of Fott, and Jurgensen will be in at second base with a stand-up double, another extra base hit for the A's, and they just continue to pour it on.
And looking at that flag, the ball, if you translate where it's blowing over to on our field, it's blowing out to left, and you could see it in the last 2 balls hit.
Yeah, especially Jimmy's looked like a routine fly off the bat, and it just kept carrying. 13 hits for Sheboygan. Gus looking to make it 14. He had a hit his first time up, a single. low. Starts off the count 1-0. And we've talked many times, Marty, about a guy that the A's need to get going is Gus Walker. We know how valuable he is when he's on base and when he's in the outfield. If he can get his bat going.
Not to disparage any of the A's outfielders, but at least in my mind, when Jimmy's in center, I feel a lot more comfortable. He's just such a great defender.
Has been his entire tenure with the A's. 2-0 pitch. Popped up left side. Third baseman Kunke gives it a look, and he won't have a chance at it. It'll go to 2-1 now. We'll see how Gus handles this one. A lefty-lefty at bat. Jurgensen was able to rip one over the left fielder's head. See if Gus can do the same here. Lucas looks in for the 2-1. Just high. 3-1 now to Gus Walker. Walker from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Goes to Marian University. 3-1 is lined in the deep right center field. That one is going to get down. Just missed the wall. Right fielder has a little trouble with it. Jurgensen rounding third, and Gus is on his way to third. Jurgensen will score with ease, and Walker is in at third with a triple. 11-1 Sheboygan.
I remember when Robin Yount was a young player, and they would say one of the most exciting plays for him was watching him run around the bases on a triple, and that's just what Jimmy was. Looking those long strides and seeing where the ball was and just knowing I'm going to make it to third.
Didn't even hit the wall. It was just a little bit of trouble in right field, but Walker got in the third easily. Ames is the only A without a hit today. Looking to change that quickly. Three A's have multiple hits already. Pitch is outside, 2-0.
Shoot, I think up in the press box we're 3 for 3. Everybody's hitting today.
Lucas looking in for the 2-0 pitch, trying to keep this lead where it is. Ames pops it up behind the plate, but it will hit the netting. Go out of play. 2-1. Braden Horn on deck, and he'll be up for his third time already after Ames completes his at-bat. The 2-1 Ames. Grounder to the shortstop Summer. It's going to score a run, and the pick is not made, and Ames will be in at first base. You give him an error or hit on that one?
I think you got to give him an error because it bounced.
Going E3, but the A's extend the lead to 12-1.
I'd give it to the shortstop, actually.
E6.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a tough play by Summer. Had to act quickly and short hop the first baseman. The play was not made, and Ames will be in at first base. Braden Horn, a grounder to second baseman. Flips to short and over to first in time. 4-6-3 double play to get Greenville at least something.
And the inning's still not over.
No. Chase Hanselman will be up. He's had a hit his last time up. One of the rare times in this game the bases have been clear for Greenville. Hanselman fouls it back.
What a hitting performance by Sheboygan. They've hit for the cycle.
Yeah, with a triple from Gus Walker. That completed. They've almost hit for the cycle in this inning. They just need a single. Swung on and missed by Hanselman. The Greenville pitching staff has not missed many barrels so far today.
That is the truth.
The 0-2 to Chase Hanselman. in there, called strike 3, and Lucas gets a double play and then a strikeout to retire the inning, but not before the A's get 3 more and extend this lead to 12-1 through 2.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
Back for the top of the 3rd inning at Wildwood Park, and Eric Schmitz's run support just keeps on growing. 12-1 now, and the guy you couldn't get a run to help him out in the past 2 outings has now gotten 12 in this one. Greenville will send up the middle of their order, Kunke, Fisher, and Summer. The order that did the most damage on him and scored that 1 run for Greenville in the 1st inning. Since then, the A's have scored 12 unanswered runs. After that 2nd inning, the A's did reach that 10-run threshold, so if they can hold on to a 10-run lead, through 5 innings, they will be victorious without having to go all 7.
Well, the record for runs scored in a single game is 27. Got a long way to go for that. Record for hits is also 27.
About halfway there.
Yeah.
That one hit to left center field. It's going to be down easily, and it'll be a stand-up double for the 3-hole hitter, Camden Kunke. Yeah, we were talking so much about the A's offense. 6 hits for Greenville, but they find themselves down 11 runs. Bring up Joe Fisher, one of the 2 strikeout victims for Greenville. He pops it up on the infield. Jacob Neese under it and makes the catch for out number 1. Big out for Schmitz again. He's pitched really well with runners in scoring position so far today. Beside the 1 hit by Summer. Greenville has struggled with runners on base.
Brett Summer is probably their best player. He made a fine play at short, couldn't get the throw over there in time, bounced it in. The first baseman unable to handle it. It's sometimes when you're good like that, you wind up picking up more errors than you'd like, but it's all part of that ability to get over there.
It's one right field, a little trouble out there by Kiesler, but holding is Kunke at 3rd. It'll be 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and the 2nd hit of the day for Brett Summer. Like you mentioned, one of the better players. He's already got 2 hits.
Well, they had 3 hits in the 1st, 2 hits in the 2nd, and now they have 2 hits in the 3rd, and they're still not done.
21 hits between the 2 teams. We're not even through 2.5 innings yet. Double play ball would do wonders for Schmitz in this situation. And the hitter, Turner Kunke, lined out to center field as last time up. That ended the 1st inning. Nice play by Walker on that one. This time he's got an 0-1 count with 1 down in the top of the 3rd inning. A's lead at 12-1. Kunke fouls it off down the right field line. Out of play. Goes 0-2. Schmitz has worked out of a situation like this in the last inning. Got a big strikeout with no one out, but this time he's already got one down. Pitch high. 1-2.
Seems like Schmitty's got pretty good velocity. If he can get that breaking ball in.
Get 12-2. Greenville has scored 2 runs, both of them earned, and that is the amount of runs coming into the day that Schmitz had given up.
Can just imagine Schmitty up on the mound saying, "What in the world is happening here? This doesn't happen to me."
Maybe he likes pitching with less support. I doubt it, but that one hit in the center field. Walker's got a beat on it, and he's going to make the catch. And false tag from the man at second base, Summer, and he'll head back to second base. Don't want to risk an out in the base pass down by 10 runs.
That's for sure.
Two down for Rashad Kastner, the 8-hole hitter who had a single his last time up. At first base, but couldn't quite come up with it. 2 outs. Kastner lines one in the center field for a base hit. Rounding third is Summer, and he's going to score without a throw. And 12-3. And now Greenville is escaping the 10-run rule for the moment. What an offensive showcase between these two teams.
That's for sure. My, I can't remember a game where Schmitty has given up this many hits.
Thought that he's one of the strikeout victims from the second inning.
Probably should have been out a couple pitches earlier.
Fought takes one just off the outside corner. 1-1. The 1-1 to Fought. Just high, and he's taking some close pitches in this setback. But he's been rewarded. 2-1. Schmitz can get out of this inning with just the 2 runs. That'd be a blessing itself. Don't want to give up any more. Fought hits one to left field. Horns under it, and he makes the catch to retire the inning, but not before Greenville gets 2 runs, and they've got 9 hits total on the game, but still find themselves trailing by 9 runs as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
Lucas is back out there to start the top of the third inning. The A's still lead by 9 runs, looking to extend that even more with the middle of this order up, and Harry Stout leading off, followed by Connor Lash and Jacob Neese are the 3 due up in this bottom of the third inning.
Lucas, I think we're being spoiled here today. You know, we're anticipating a win, but we don't want just a win. We want a 10-run rule win.
See us offense get going, and we want them to score 25 plus runs.
The third baseman, number 19, Harry Stout.
Harry's already 2 for 2 today, and he's moved his average up to 333. First pitch to Harry is called strike 1.
You're reading my mind, CJ.
The 0-1 pitch is in there again on that outside corner. Lucas really working it on Harry Stout on that outside pitch. Harry 2 for 2, but not just 2 for 2. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Harry, a grounder to second baseman. Nice play over there. And throw in time to retire Harry for the first out. First time today, a leadoff hitter has been retired for the A's.
You mentioned about Harry with the 2 doubles. He also has 2 RBIs to extend his team lead.
He's been hitting the ball hard. Not as hard as his third at bat, but his first 2 were rockets coming off the barrel. Connor Lash is up now, and he takes that outside pitch. 3 calls in a row. That outside pitch for Lucas. Next one is hit in the air, right side foul territory. It'll get down in play or foul.
I thought that was a good plan by Lash. He took that first pitch on the outside corner, and Lucas has been really good at that spot. And when it came there again, he swung at it.
Get a better feel for the zone, and he's had a good feel already. He's 2 for 2. Came in today hitting just under 350, probably well north of 370 now. That one
I think we figured that out. It was exactly 400.
Was it really?
Yeah.
400 average for Lash, and he's hitting with power. Leads the team in homers with 3.
I think he leads the ball club in extra base hits also.
Especially with another double today. Up the middle, and that one will be played but bounced off of Summer. And that'll be an infield hit for Connor Lash, and he's 3 for 3. After
Dissension up here in the press box.
After discussion, we're going to go E6. Error number 4 on Greenville.
Second baseman, number 17, Jacob Neese.
Neese takes it outside. This one, not a strike. 1-0. Still up with 14 hits, but they are up by 9 runs in the bottom of the third inning. Neese hits it in the air to center field, but Cronus is under it for the second out.
Second flyout for Jacob out to center field.
Seems like Lucas is kind of weathering the storm finally in this third inning for the Greenville defense. Giesler's got 2 extra base hits, a double and a homer so far.
Single and a triple away from the cycle.
Him and Lash are both halfway there among other A's. Giesler pops one up on the infield. The second baseman, Peters, is under it for the third out. For the first time today, the A's do not get a run, but they do leave one on the air from Summer, and they still lead this one 12-3 as we head to the 4th inning.
Estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
We're back at Wildwood Park for the top of the 4th inning. The A's still lead at 12-3, and Eric Schmitz is back on the mound. It's been a real unusual start for him so far. I mean, 3 runs for a lot of pitchers and a real bad start, but a lot of hits given up. 9 hits from Eric Schmitz at just 12 in 22 innings coming into the day. Looking like he could weather the storm a little bit in this 4th inning and go 3 up, 3 down. Ethan Peters, the leadoff hitter for Greenville, to start the 4th inning. He's 0 for 2, one of the rare 0 fors in the Greenville lineup. First pitch is lined in the right field. Kiesler slides and made the catch. What a play by Calvin Kiesler. Feet first slide and comes up with it, and that looks like that's not Kiesler anymore. That's Jason Sims. Sims made that play. Doesn't make the play any less great, but what a great catch out there.
Interesting that Sims would come in the ball game this early.
Yeah, even with the 9-run lead, normally don't see too many subs this early on. But nonetheless, a big first out for Eric Schmitz. A great catch by Jason Sims. Swung on it, missed by Jake Lucas, the DH/pitcher.
Do we follow the Otani rule in this league?
I do not know. Maybe. And Schmitz hits him on a 1-2 pitch. And Greenville will have a runner on with 1 out for Camden Kunke, who's 2 for 2 today. Kunke a single and a double in the 1st and 3rd inning. Up for his 3rd at bat in the 4th.
That was Schmitty's first hit by pitch of the season.
Yeah, it's been a real weird start for Eric Schmitz today. He's got a lot of help from his offense, which is also unusual. First, 2nd pitch is hit in the air to right center field. Walker chasing after it, but Sims is there for the 2nd out. Sims getting some action early. Just comes into the game, and the first 2 outs are right to him.
2 things on that play. Number 1 is the ball carried a lot further than I thought it was going to, and then the other was Sims out and right got a great break on it.
Another one of those great outfielders for Sheboygan, Jason Sims. And that one's hit in the air foul by Joe Fisher, the cleanup hitter. He's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and a pop out to Jacob Neese at 2nd base.
They're getting their swings in, that's for sure. They're not waiting around.
Both teams have been very aggressive today. Check swing, and
it was a called strike. Yeah.
0-2. And Schmitz looking to get through a relatively clean inning, other than the hit by pitch.
Lash wanted an appeal, but the home plate umpire called it a strike. Just a little bit of a delay on it.
Swung on and missed by Joe Fisher, and that retires the side. The A's get a hit by pitch, but other than that, 3 up, 3 down. And still 12-3 through 3.5.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Back at Wildwood Park for the bottom of the 4th inning. The A's will bring out Jimmy Jurgensen, Gus Walker to face Jake Lucas in the bottom of the 4th. Lucas has kind of been a blessing for Greenville after the 9 runs in the 1st inning. He's only given up 3 in his 2 1/3 innings so far. Jamie Jurgensen has 2 for 2 today with a single and double, and that average has risen significantly up to 310. Looking to continue that rise in average here, his 3rd time up. First pitch is inside, nearly hit Jimmy. That'll be 1-0.
Jimmy's shown he can hit left-handers.
I've seen it a couple times now. That's Lucas, and then in that Menasha game, he was the only hit, and that was off a left-hander. After that double today, 3 doubles for Jimmy on the year. The 1-1 pitch from Jake Lucas to Jimmy Jurgensen is inside again. Nearly hit him in the head this time. 2-1.
You know, you bend over like that to avoid the pitch, but your bat stays up. It's happened before where the ball will hit the bat as it goes over your head.
And you're left with a strike on a foul ball instead of a ball that nearly hit you. 2-1 pitch from Lucas to Jurgensen. Got in on the hands and pulls it way foul. 2-2 now to Jurgensen. Pitch from Lucas. Again in on Jurgensen's hands, and it'll go to 2-2.
That was a very good defensive swing to fight that pitch off. Live for another pitch.
Saw that the last time. Jurgensen with that one getting in on his hands and pulled it way foul. See if he can drive one this one on the 2-2 pitch. Inside again. Count runs full. Lucas has struggled against left-handers. He's yet to retire one. Gus Walker and Jurgensen both are 1-for-1 against him. 3-2 is on, and this pitch outside the zone. We're out number 1.
He done so good till that last swing.
Really was a great at bat from Jurgensen. I was gonna only remember the last pitch, but really worked the count. Bring up Gus Walker, who's 2 for 2, a much needed 2 for 2. Came into the day with just the 2 hits, and he's matched that with today's output.
He's raised his average by 68 points.
Brings it up to nearly 150 on the year. Walker ready for the 0-1. That one's inside. Ames on deck still. The only Sheboygan A to not have a hit. Walker takes one inside and off the elbow, and he'll reach base on a hit by pitch.
My prediction is within the first 3 pitches, Gus will be stealing.
Yeah, I want to get that runner in score position, put the A's over that threshold, because if they do get to 10-run lead, they can end this game in the next inning.
Gus has got 3 steals on the season. The only thing that may make it a little tough for Gus is the fact that there's the left-hander on the mound. This is you, right? That was a pretty good throw by the catcher, too. Turner Kunke, the Stars catcher, making that strong throw to second, just not in time. Sheboygan got 9 in the first, 3 in the second. Now they've been shut out.
Horn. Horn just missed. It'll be 2-2. Tough pitch to take with 2 strikes, but Horn did it, and he got rewarded that time.
I don't think he should take it again, though.
Definitely not. More often than not, that's a called strike 3. He's back in the dugout, but he gets a second life this time. That one outside and runs it full on Horn. Horn looking to enter that extra base category today, like many other A's have so far. He'll take it outside and work a walk. One of the few, if not the first walk for the Sheboygan A's.
I think that was the first one.
Chase Hanselman out now for Sheboygan. Hanselman swings and misses at a high fastball from Lucas.
Couldn't catch up to the high hard one.
They look good for so long, and then once you swing at it, you regret it. The 0-1 pitch from Lucas is fouled off right side, 0-2.
Good speed at second base, and Gus Walker, and he hit to the outfield. You would think he'd score.
Hunky's had a decent arm, like you said. It's just the first couple times the infielders weren't really paying too much attention. Hanselman is ready for the 0-2 pitch, looking to drive in that run on second base at Gus Walker. Slow. Moves the count to 1-2.
They picked a great pitch to steal on, that low one.
Now the A's move 2 runners into scoring position at third and second. Walker at third and Braden Horn at second base. Chase Hanselman up. 2-2 count with 2 outs. The A's lead at 12-3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hanselman checks swing, but it'll hold. And it'll run full again. Lucas has had his 3rd full count of the inning. Struck out Jurgensen, walked Horn, and now we'll see what he does to Chase Hanselman. Pitch is outside, ball 4. Hanselman works the walk, and that'll load the bases for Harry Stout.
Harry really good at getting on base and very patient hitter. Be interesting to see if he takes one of those outside pitches to right field early in the count. Remember, he took those first 2 last at bat.
Yeah, we always talk about how often do you see Harry really swing at that first pitch. We'll see who does here. Harry lines it in the left center field. That's going to get in the gap and down for a base hit. 2 runners are going to score at least. Trouble in the outfield, and waving around home is Chase Hanselman, and he'll be in there safely. A 3 RBI double from Harry Stout to give the A's some insurance and that 10-run rule lead, and moves their lead up to 12.
That was not one of those outside pitches. That one was right down the middle, and Harry made Lucas pay for it. Now, Witek, you said, was in at catcher the last half inning, but he's seeing his first at bat here. Witek's having a great year, hitting .333.
Doesn't get as much play time with what Lash has been doing behind the plate recently. First pitch to Witek is in there, strike 1.
And one of the things we said, you know, with so many good catchers, you got to be creative in how you, when you got them all at the ballpark, how can you get them in the game at the same time?
In there.
Welcome to the ball game, Ty.
Home plate umpires loved calling that outside corner in this game. 0-2. Witek hits it on the ground in the summer. Fields and throws and in time. And Witek is retired, but the A's get 3 more runs on a bases clearing double from Harry Stout to move their lead to 15-3 over Greenville. As we head to the top of the 5th, and the A's have a chance to shut the door.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef, it's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Back for the top of the 5th, and with the A's 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th, they have exceeded the 10-run rule and can close out this game with just 3 more outs without giving up 3 runs. Schmitz threw a scoreless inning his last time out, and he only faced 4 batters, the least he has faced today. So hopefully he can keep that momentum up. It's been tough for Schmitz, though, to get in a real rhythm. He's been sitting on the bench a long time in between each inning. Brett Summer leads it off, and he's 2 for 2 today. And followed by Turner Kunke and then Camden Cronus. First pitch to Summer is low.
So these 3 hitters coming up have 6 at-bats and 4 hits.
It's been the part of the order that's gotten the best of Schmitz so far at the 9 hits total for Greenville. The A's got 3 runs last inning with only the benefit of 1 hit. That one hit on the ground to Ames. Fields throws, and a great pick by Jimmy Jurgensen in time to retire Summer.
It's really nice to get him out with his 2 for 2 and get that 10-run rule and keep that 10-run rule intact.
For sure, they don't want to mess around, get leadoff runners on, give the Greenville any hope they can keep this game going. Next up is Turner Kunke, the catcher today. He's 1 for 2, with a lineout and a single, and he hits one on the ground to Ames again. Throws over to first in time to retire Kunke, and 2 quick outs for Eric Schmitz, both 6-3 ground outs. Now I'll bring up the last hope for Greenville, the center fielder, Cameron Cronus. Cronus also 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out to center field. He takes the first pitch, low and outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is outside again from Schmitz. It's 2-0. A's will play again about half an hour after the completion of this game against this same Greenville Stars team, as this one's popped up on the infield, and this can do it. Jimmy Jurgensen makes the catch, and the A's pull off a 15-3 win to go to 4-0 in the Newble. And Greenville is going to fall to 0-4. The stats on Greenville held true. Over 11 runs given up today with 15. And he's got 15 hits on top of that. Eric Schmitz, not his best start of the day, but he got the win. Any last thoughts, Marty?
Yeah, Schmitty not having his best start for sure, but the offense certainly backed him up, and hopefully they can do that again in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Lucas, great job. This will be it. You're gonna have to go solo in Game 2.
Solo.
Good luck with that.
The A's will play again, like I was talking about before the pop-up, in about 30 minutes against Greenville. And after that, Monday will be their next home game against Green Bay Blue Ribbons and a makeup game. But until then, we'll see you next time. Shortstop and then the 2 from catcher.
Opening pitcher, Eric Schmitz. Losing pitcher, Chase Schultz. Time of game, 1 hour, 34 minutes.
What was the score? 15-3.
You have this book, so I can take mine.
Yep.
I'll leave the, if you want to do this, I'll leave it. If you don't, just bring it, or leave it here.
Okay.
See you next time. How big was the pot, guys? Nobody knows?
What, Marty?
How big was the 50-50 pot?
190 or something?
Oh, not too bad. Okay, see you guys on Monday.
What, aren't you gonna be here for game 2?
I'm pretty bored with all this shit. Can't have had it with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Not you so much, Bill. Just
it's that guy you
Lucas.
have to work with,
Yeah.
Lucas guy?
And then Maddie, she comes in here. Yeah, we're going to see James Taylor down at Summerfest.
Oh, that ought to be a good show.
I've seen him once before, about 6 or 7 years ago.